Hey, I'm the coffee swilling Iowan, and these are the top 5 things I learned in Bible college in no particular order. Number 1, how to read my Bible. I'm a church kid. I grew up in church, but the one thing I've come to really regret is all the years that I've wasted not reading my Bible and getting things out of it. There were even a few times when I felt really guilty because my Sunday school teacher would use me as an example to the other kids. On more than one occasion, she said something to the effect of, "You need to read your Bible. I'm sure Miss Brooke reads her Bible every day." And all I could do was look back uncomfortably. I didn't have the guts to correct her. Even when I knew God called me to missions, it still wasn't a priority for me. And it should have been. The first time I ever really read through my Bible all the way was when I came back from church camp in 2014. I used a 90-day plan, and all I got from it was a superficial feather in my cap. There was no real Bible study. I did nothing to change how I lived my life, except take up an extra hour and a half to 2 hours a day reading. At this point, I finished it through twice completely and through the Old Testament during my first year of Bible college. And let me tell you, it has changed so much since then. For the first time, I feel like it's changing me, and that could be for any number of reasons. Maybe it's because I'm finally pliable enough that I'm actually letting it happen, or perhaps it's because one of the freshman classes at Heartland is called Methods of Bible Study. I'm thinking it's a little bit of both, probably. In Methods of Bible Study, I learned a lot of things that after you learn them feel like they should have been intuitive for a Christian to know. We used a Strong's Concordance for a lot of our classwork, but the main textbook we read from is Bibbs, or Big Idea Bible Study by Ryan Wrench. It's written by a Heartland alum, and it's aimed mostly at younger people, but I think it's really valuable for anybody who wants to learn how to study their Bible and actually get something out of it. Because after all, I mean, if you're taking the time to read through your Bible, you're gonna want to get something from it. You're spending a lot of time on that. I assure you, it takes a long time. Lesson number 2. I am kind of an idiot. There's no book that'll make you feel more foolish than Proverbs, but in a good way. I studied it for a month, and I feel like I could study it for the rest of my life and still gain something new every single day. One thing everyone has to learn sooner or later is that no matter how good you think you are at something, no matter how well you think you have something down, there's always something more to learn. It was while reading through Proverbs that I figured out how cocky and prideful I can be a lot of the time. I didn't even see it as an issue before I left home, but the more I look into it, the more of an issue I see it as, and the more I feel like I need to fix it. It's a daily kind of struggle, and I fail a lot. I've learned since I arrived that I don't even know what I don't know yet. But it's a tiny bit exciting to look at the seniors and to know that in a couple years, if I stay on track, I'm gonna look and act like them, and that is a big encouragement for me. Number 3. A lot of card games. Before I went to Heartland, I thought I had played a lot of card games. Yeah, like I said before, I'm kind of an idiot. For those of you who don't know, there are no TVs at Heartland, and they're not super keen on movies and TV in general. So card games and jogging are the bread and butter of my classmates. Since October, I've learned to play Super Fight, Space Team, 5-Minute Dungeon, Exploding Kittens, Bears vs. Babies, Flux, Dose, Oregon Trail the Game, Villainous, and Munchkin. I'll give an honorable mention to Silent Uno since I sat at the table with a handful of cards looking super confused while my friends played. I'd also like to give a dishonorable mention to Skip Bo, which I found out recently is not pronounced Skip Boo. I really appreciate the gaming culture that we have at Heartland because, you know, it's not super often that you find a group of people that you enjoy playing with. I mean, most of the time if you're playing a game, it's a mobile game on your phone, and there's no opportunity for bonding from that. And so that's something that I think we really get a lot of at Heartland, just making, you know, face-to-face connections with other students, and that's super nice. Number 4, I learned a little bit about ASL. One really cool thing that I've gotten to learn is American Sign Language, or ASL. Now, Southwest Baptist Church, which partners with my college, offers a class once a week for anyone who wants to learn sign language for free. It's not pure ASL, it's ASL signs, mostly in English word order, but the deaf who attend Southwest don't use pure ASL anyway, so we're good. It's been super cool even in the past few months to learn about deaf culture and how to be a part of it. Unfortunately, the deaf are some of the last people to be reached with the gospel because they get forgotten. And they get forgotten because people who think about reaching to a people group, they usually only think of hearing people. I don't know right now if it's my official calling to go to the deaf, but I am definitely burdened for them, and I know it's where I'm supposed to serve right now. Number 5, humility. This is probably one of the most important lessons that I've learned, and also the hardest. A year ago, I almost didn't want to come. In August and much of September, I wondered if I had made the right decision, because the culture shock was so hard on me. It was so shocking. I had gone from pants every single day of my life except for Sunday and Wednesday evenings to skirts every single time I left my dorm. And I couldn't go all the places I wanted to go when I wanted to go there. I had a pretty nasty attitude for a while, and I tried to keep it hidden as much as I could. It was not the fault of my roommates or my teachers that I had a bad attitude, only mine. When I talked to people back home, a lot of the time it almost pulled me back to the person I used to be. They would ask me if I was for sure if I wanted to keep it up for a second semester, and I would begrudgingly answer yes. There were even a few people who thought I was wasting my time there. Things began to change the longer I stayed, though. My old youth pastor's wife was there for a few weeks to make sure her daughters were settling and alright, and she reminded me that these changes would kill me if I let them. That someone going to Bible college as a missions major of all things would need to be able to adapt to changes, or a foreign field just wasn't going to work. I've had a few needful slaps in the face the past few months. Dress, humility, discipline, rules, and more rules. You get the idea. The thing is, changes sting a little bit less the moment I realize something needs to change or stop. Rules are a little easier to abide by. The main difference in how I think now is who I'm doing this for. If there's one thing your first semester Bible college will do for you, is it will strip you of any sort of selfish reason for being at Bible college. Because you can leave the second semester. You never have to come back. But, you have to take into account, are you doing this for you? Or are you doing this for God? So those were the top 5 things I learned at Heartland Baptist Bible College this first semester, in no particular order. If you believe God is leading you to attend Bible college, even for 1 year, I strongly recommend you do it. You will make so many great friends, and you will learn so much, and it'll just grow you so much as a Christian.